All right. I'm just waiting for the countdown on YouTube. It's nearly there. And we are live on YouTube and we will be on Facebook and Instagram. So, hey, everybody, welcome to a live episode of the Homeopathy Health Show with myself and my co host, Naila Chima. Woohoo! Welcome, Naila.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I would
Uh,
love to be your co-host.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Now, it's an absolute pleasure that we welcome the Society of Homeopaths to this live episode. And I have none other than Corinne Stewart, the Chief Executive of the Society of Homeopaths.
Hello.
Welcome, Corinne.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I also have the wonderful and amazing Marcus Christo, who is one of the main organizers for this year's conference from the Society of Homeopaths. And he is part of the Traveling Homeopathic Collective. And he's also a fellow of the Society of Homeopaths. So congrats on that. Woohoo, big deal, kudos. And Traveling Homeopaths Collective, fantastic. And me and Nyla and Homeopathy in Practice can't wait to help you with that and get involved, okay? Get our hands dirty as such, and get to the nitty gritty. So looking forward to that. But welcome, Marcus.
Great, thank you.
So exciting year. Now, last year, the Society of Homeopaths, we had I say we, it's the royal we had the conference in London, and it was absolutely amazing. I was there, so I had the good fortune of being invited by Corinne herself, and it was a really, really nice experience, really, really good presentations, and just that vibe and that buzz of homeopathy and seeing homeopathy come to life with the different homeopathic personalities. And it was so, so nice, and really something else. And now this year, it's actually being held online. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, we asked our members, because we're a membership body, obviously, and so we want to always be asking our members what they want. And they said we'd like an online and face-to-face conference every other year. So we're online this year, which means that, wherever you are in the world, you can tune in, and we'll be back to face-to-face next year.
Brilliant. And the dates, I do need to ask you the dates because it's very, very important. So please do share the dates.
Yeah, so it's Saturday, the 17th of May, and it starts at 10 and finishes at 5:45. And I think we're pretty much sold out. So
Fantastic.
it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And thank you so much to Marcus, because really we couldn't do this without Marcus. Marcus is such a great friend and colleague of us here at the Society, and he comes up with the most brilliant ideas and knows all the best speakers. And so thank you so much, Marcus, for that. And I mean, no doubt we'll get on to talk about it, but it's called The Wisdom of the Crones, an insight into change, loss, and the menopause. And actually, that's our theme for 2025 is the menopause. So Homeopathy Awareness Week was all about the menopause. We've got our wonderful conference. We're also our summer journal will be about menopause and women in general. And then we've got a My Practice in November with Shilpa. Now, excuse me, Shilpa, if I mispronounce your name, Barukar. And that's unlocking the power of the matrodonals. So it's a ladies, it's a women's year. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls.
Woohoo! And
Yeah.
so needed, isn't it,
Brilliant.
Tyler? So needed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like no one is covering the menopause like this. We can help women out there so amazingly, brilliantly with our tiny, tiny globules. We say magic pills, and I'm absolutely happy with this is coming on the forefront, and everyone is getting aware, and we are trying to help make them feel better. They don't have to always suffer with the hot sweats.
That's right. And also, not every, well, I've found that there was this, if you go to your GP, it's just one thing. Do you want to go on HRT or don't you? And I don't want to do that. And anyway, I'm a migraine sufferer, so I can't, even if I wanted to. So, and we've just got some great speakers lined up. I don't know, Marcus, whether you want to have to talk about our 5 great speakers that we've got lined up.
Yeah, please, Marcus, fire away. Can't wait.
Far away. Well, coming up with ideas sometimes can be really easy, and other times it can be really hard. and we do poll our members to try and find out what they might like as a subject. And I thought, I don't really want to do the menopause. I really don't want to do the menopause because, at the end of the day, homeopathy is about understanding the repertory. It's about understanding the remedies. It's about understanding the client. So I started to think outside the box a little bit here. And I'm like a scout. I like looking for people that are different. I like looking for people that can present things in various different ways, that will talk different languages, that will get us to really think inside and outside the box. And that to me is really, really, really important. Otherwise, we could just keep putting the same old boring old names on, not selling out, not really getting people to say, hey, you should really go off and be a member of the society because, and they, listing half a dozen really good reasons, whether it be from supervision to mentoring to actually our CPD days or this particular conference. Okay, sometimes I do take a huge risk, and I can put on speakers that will actually cause a lot of really classical homeopaths to be biting on a biscuit and jumping up and down and getting really irate with us. But
Biting on a
at least I've got
biscuit.
them to think,
I love that. I wanted to bite one biscuit myself now. I
So
love that one.
we had this idea. I thought, well, what can I do with the menopause? So I thought, okay, we need a bit of a scientific input. So Marion Glenville, we put her on a few years ago when we did a whole conference online on the immune system. We put her on in the past before my days of being involved with conference selection of speakers. And she's a really articulate speaker. Now she's been jumping up and down saying, Marcus, can I do some more? Can I do some more? Can I do some more? So she must have really enjoyed the last time she worked online for us. So I got hold of Marilyn via Brigitte, her PA, and said, hey, yes, this is the year if Marilyn is free. This is the date, Saturday, May the 17th. Can she come and do an hour for us online? And well, what's the subject? I said, well, we want to do the menopause. So it'd be really useful to know what nutritional supplements Marilyn would come up with. And that's exactly what Marilyn's going to be doing. So that was one start of it all. I then spoke to some colleagues and friends, and Karen Allen is one of them. And Karen Allen runs the Trinity Health Hub. A few years ago, she came and did some stuff for us where we did the Three Wise Women, where we did getting pregnant, staying pregnant, and giving birth. And she was one of the main speakers. And that was the last time we had met face to face up until last year. So that was the last one we did before the pandemic came along. And I built up a really good rapport with Karen. She's a brilliant teacher. She's based in Seattle. She's a fantastic teacher. She set up the Trinity Health Hub. I've ended up teaching the Trinity Health Hub, doing all my acute prescribing stuff from decades of running the charity and running acute clinics. And we built up a really good bond where I can say, hey, I've got this idea, but you think outside the box like me. I really just don't want to do the menopause because there's other things that get confused during the time of the menopause. That get, oh, it's the menopause. They go to the doctor, things get labelled for this poor woman. This is the menopause. When 75% of the time it may not be. It's a time where the fledglings leave the nest. It's a time where suddenly this woman's got to find her own path and her vocation in life. It's a time where they become the elders as their parents and pass away and move on to another realm. So there's a lot going on for these poor women, and then to stop it all, then we get the hot flushes, the night sweats, and everything else that can go on with it all. And I thought we've really got to really home in and focus on this. So Karen said, "Hey, look, I don't want to talk about the menopause. I want to talk about when it's not the menopause. So when things get confused with the menopause that aren't the menopause. So like women can have night sweats for 20, 30 years after the menopause, but it still gets put down as the menopause. So there's been women in their 60s or early 70s that's still having nighttime sweats, but something else is going on, yeah? And something else needs a little bit of a tickle and a little bit of support, It can't all be blamed on the menopause, but that's how the medics work, They like giving labels to people so that they feel better. Yeah, here's a label, wear that one. Oh, I feel much better now. I've got a label, I can wear that and I know what's going on for me now, when it may not actually be the case. So she's going to get everyone to think outside the box again by looking at other things that can go on. She'll be sharing some amazing cases. And then from here, she'll build up a picture of what to look for and how to actually treat it.
Marcus, you just want to interject there. You said something very important there, and I just want to pick up on that. You said people, once they're labeled, for want of a better word, they feel, or compartmentalized, they feel better.
Yeah.
Now, when we look at that, it's like, I'm just saying personally, my opinion, it's so wrong, isn't it?
It is so
to be like, oh, I have a label now, and this is my name, or this is my condition, right? And it's like, well, hang on a minute, is it? You know, we need to, it's homeopathy so much, isn't it, about empowerment, about
Yep.
giving people the tools that they need, right? The holistic tools to say, do you know what? Just take a step back and just think and have a look. Are you really labeled as this, and is this right, and is it not? I had a patient recently. I'm just going off because it's very interesting what you said, and they were diagnosed with a condition, labeled. Gave homeopathic remedies. It wasn't that condition at all, and that was a serious condition. It was nothing to do with that. All it was is some childhood trauma.
Mm.
And it changes the dynamics, right? All of a sudden, you've been told, I have this, and then 6 weeks later, you're saying, oh, I don't have it anymore. I don't even know what happened, right? Isn't it, Nyla? It's interesting, isn't it, how that all works in?
Really interesting. I actually got very interested about Karen Allen because I've been following Trinity Health Hub since I started studying, and there's really good resources, and she's a really wonderful teacher. And I loved it how she said that it could be it's not always menopause. I've also seen women around their age of 70s, and they're having hot flashes and say, oh, it's menopause. It's not menopause. Or girls in their 30s and just before periods, they're experiencing this rage or their personality changes, and they feel like, oh, it's premenopause. Which is this? It's just not this. There is a lot going on. What is going on? Maybe something going on with me might be different than something going on with someone else. So yeah, it's really interesting how you have put it. I'm looking forward to the conference now.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I wanted to just go off slightly, because this is so important, this topic. So the society doing this at this time, it's like you said, Corinne, it's so important. But Marcus, I digress. We digress. Oops, it happens. Please carry on.
No, it's interesting to pick up on the label. Yes, I mean, this is where we're talking about empowering these women into taking control of their own lives and not accepting the label. The label, we don't use the label when we go to prescribe.
Mm,
But what I'm trying to say is, what I wanted to get our members to think about was that it's not always the menopause. Yeah, it gets blamed for so many different things that we overlook the obvious, and the obvious is undoing that Pandora's box and finding the similarium. So this is why I've selected these speakers, because I know they're going to be talking about different types of things. I mean, Laurie Grossman, who's another American lady. Sadly, she's not going to be with us in a couple of Saturdays' time due to family commitments. But I sat down with her the other night and we recorded, I think it was about 30 minutes of a very punchy, direct look at various small remedies that get overlooked that can be used during the changes in life. So she'll be looking at remedies that were useful for supporting cancer. She'll be looking at remedies that were suitable for I'm not saying she's curing these things, I hasten to add, to support the client through these problems, yeah, and problems with white blood cell count, problems with red blood cell count. She was looking at loads of different small remedies that were useful for using in these situations, and she gave some very quick, punchy, cases where she was exploring why she gave these remedies, what potency, and why she gave these potencies. And she's going to give us, leaving us with some time to actually have a bit of a discussion, so we can actually get more questions sent over to her, so she can actually send these documents out to everybody.
brilliant.
Send them out. It's unfortunate that she can't be with us live, but the problem is, what's good about the internet, it allows us to actually access people from around the globe that we wouldn't be able to normally do if we were doing face to face, because financially it'd be off the Richter scale. Then what we'd have to actually charge our poor members would be astronomical. They go, oh, I can't afford that. So this to me is a key of bringing in amazing people from further reach. The only problem is the time difference, and this can prove a little bit difficult sometimes. If you've got a couple of people, well, this is we've got 3 American ladies speaking, where we have got to record one, sadly. So sadly it was Laurie, but that's
I know Laurie really well. She's a good friend of mine. She's been on the Homeopathy Health Show actually several times now, I think, if I remember right. You think I'd remember, right? It's my show, but hey, these things happen. Swiftly moving on, not to embarrass myself, but actually not to embarrass ourselves, because neither's on board, so I don't have to take all of it now, right? But I know
you're going.
I'm just it's called a deflection, isn't it? I think that's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
But Marcus, I wanted to just jump on with Corinne and just ask, as a member, myself as a member, and Nyla as members of the Society of Homeopaths, it's so the work that you've done, and you've been on the Christmas specials, which are now, every December. We know it's a society and the homeopathy health show, right? It's done now. It's a done
That's
deal,
very
okay?
kind. Yeah.
And we've spoken, and I've spoken many times about, and I've been praising, of course, I'm not shy about that, the society and the work. And there's some absolutely incredible things that you're doing this year. And I'm so happy for you. We are so happy. And in fact, looking forward to helping you anyway with that, right? In as time progresses this year. So that's also exciting. But the conference is for society members. So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
And I have to ask you, I know the reasons, I can answer as well, but why should homeopaths join the Society of Homeopaths?
I think you get a little glimpse of it today.
Hmm.
So we are the leading register for professional homeopaths worldwide. We're the largest register in the UK, actually larger than all the other registers put together. So, and it's for this reason. Part of what Marcus was saying, it's about thinking outside of the box. It's bringing new ideas to members.
Hmm.
We've got if you join the society, we've got a publicly searchable register, which is the best register without hands down internationally. You can put those specialisms on there as well if you're a member. So if
Hmm.
somebody is searching for us, if you have a specialism in women's health, which is what we're talking about today, you
Hmm.
can put that down and be found by somebody. And of course, that somebody might be from around the world now because we're online now. Or they may be face to face. So you can join the society. You don't have to just be in the UK. You can join it internationally. And actually, last year we saw a huge increase in members from overseas and internationally join the society because we're really offering something that other registers don't have. And one of those
Hmm.
things is we have a practitioner hub. When you become a member, you have full access to that. And it's got so many tips and so many things to help you. It's packed full of information to help you run a really successful and professional homeopathic
Can I
practice.
just say, Corinne, as a member, it's brilliant. Absolutely what you're saying. I agree with you. It's so, so good. There's
Yeah.
so much on there for practitioners. It doesn't leave you hanging, for want of a better word,
Yeah.
right? So you're thinking, oh, what
Yeah.
am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I love it.
And we're adding things all the time. We're about to come out with a really, really handy toolkit if you're just starting. So if you're a newly qualified homeopath or you're looking to fill in some of those gaps in your practice, we'll have a toolkit ready for you in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be
Brilliant. Brilliant.
and of course, we do the best events and we speak to the best people. So what's not to love about joining the society? And it's a very, very, and we are for our members. We listen to our members and our
Yeah.
members can call us. If you've got any concerns at all, you can pick up the phone and we're on the other end of the line. So, and there's always somebody within the society that can help you. So we're a very supportive community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. I mean, we talk, and when I have to contact the society, there's always somebody available. And that's,
Yeah,
what, sometimes it's just like a homeopath, right? You just want someone to pick up the phone and listen to you,
yeah, yeah,
and it changes everything, right?
yeah,
Even if it's just a question or it's just saying hi.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
And sometimes members will phone and I'll be speaking to them and they'll say, "Do you know what? I already thought it was that. I just thought, well, I'll phone my professional body because I just wanted to hear that from you too." And of course, it's up to members. Everybody runs their own practice. You're the one in control, but it just helps to have that friendly voice on the other end of the phone, and
Mm.
also sometimes that critical friend as well.
Yeah.
Is what we
Yeah.
need.
And also, I have to say, just for those listening in, of course, to give a real example, I know we spoke, Nyla and myself, with homeopathy in practice, and we were talking about certain things. And as a member of the society, the support you gave was just brilliant. It's just that, isn't it? It's like, hey,
Yeah,
that's a good idea, and hey, what about this, and why don't we do this? It
yeah.
changes so many things, right?
It
Changes
does.
so many things.
It does. And I think, we all, especially homeopaths, oftentimes are working on their own and
Mm.
can feel a bit isolated. So being able to be part of a bigger community is really important. And I think something that Marcus has just touched on when he's talking about thinking outside of the box, we can become our own echo chamber. So we can just, keep thinking down those straight lines, things that we've always done before. And sometimes we just need that extra somebody to introduce us to a new way of thinking,
Yeah.
which could revolutionize what we're doing, and help our patients so much. And we wouldn't necessarily have been able to get there on our own, but for coming along to that conference or reading that or speaking to somebody in a
Yeah.
in a group or listening to a podcast or a live show like this. So so I mean, it's why I love being chief executive of the society. I absolutely love it.
You are the best chief executive that I know.
Thank you. Well, I've got my son got married last year. I've got a son and a daughter, and for Mother's Day, my daughter-in-law sent me a card that said, "From your favorite daughter-in-law," and so I think it's already a bit like that, isn't it? I'll have to introduce you to some more chief executives.
Yes, please do. Well, there can only be one, right? Otherwise, hey, when we meet
You have
next,
to see how his posture changed. You were the best.
Yes, it's not hard to be the best of one, is it?
No, but I just wanted to mention the new practitioner program that the society has introduced is absolutely something that all students who are graduating need to look into, because not
sure.
everyone is doing this discount. And then all what we talked when we had this meeting with Homeopathy in Practice, that you explained how you are actually helping the graduates to stand on their feet, to
That's
start
right.
the practice. So
That's right.
anyone
That's right.
who's graduating listening to this need to go there and see, because I'm joining.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't even wait to join as a
Thank you.
practitioner.
Well, Marcus is involved with something that we're very important at the moment, which we're not quite ready to announce yet. But for all of you who are graduating this summer, we have got a very exciting program for you for when you join the society, and I think, I don't know about you, Marcus, but I think this is going to help people so much. That when you first graduate and then you come into practice, you need that support, don't you, to be able to get through that. The first year in practice is always the hardest, so you can learn from people who've been there before, made mistakes, so you don't have to.
Marcus, yeah, over to you.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag.
No, don't let the cat out of the bag.
From an hour and a half meeting.
Do you know what? I don't even know how Corinne and yourself have
We're
kept that,
polishing
because
and embellishing at the moment, trying to make this gleaming thing that we're going to present to the homeopathic world. So watch this space. I'm sure Atik will invite us back on board, Corinne, to go.
Talk about that. We'll talk about it. If you invite us back, we'll talk about it and why it's so important.
Hey, here's an idea then. We can do that before you go live. We can do an episode, can't we, Nyla? Yeah,
Definitely.
that would be good.
So I think if we'll probably be ready in the summer. So not quite yet, but we're ready in the summer. We're about to launch a pilot in this area as well, to give us a bit of research on this too, because we like to do things properly. And I just think it's going to be so much help. And this is the society investing money back into our membership.
Wonderful. Hey, listen, I'm really bad at keeping secrets. Like, my type of secrets are the secrets that I just tell everybody and then tell them it's a secret. Yeah, I've done it to Nyla so many times, and she's saying, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "What?" She said, "You just told me what it is." I said, I don't know what to do. Help me with a remedy. Can't control his emotions, right? So give us a clue then.
I can tell you about Vanessa Black for the conference.
Can't you give us a clue? The 80s, they had that brilliant program on, right?
No, you'll have to wait for our episode.
Yeah. Begins with. Oh, come on. I'll buy you some nice cupcakes.
No, we'll you'll have to wait. But once you hear about it, it'll be well, of course. Why hasn't anyone done this before?
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. I can't wait, honestly.
I'm so excited now.
Yeah. It's so good, and honestly, I have to say, I commend the Society of Homeopaths for everything that you're doing, everything that you stand for. You've made it so tangible, just available for practitioners and student homeopaths, graduates, postgrad, whatever, homeopaths, even homeopaths of years and years and of standing. And it's just so, so nice because, like I said to you offline as well when we met, it's tangible, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
important. It makes it feel it's real, it's there. You can
yeah.
do something with it, you can learn, you can benefit, you can get help and support.
Well, one of the things we do is we work with the best people like Marcus and like yourselves, because we don't know everything. And so we like to, we recognize that, we can help our members get further and faster by partnering with the best people in their own field. And that's really something as well, for homeopaths to think about is partner. We're quite keen on saying, partner with other homeopaths in your area, even if it's just to create either a face-to-face or an online group, a support group, because you can't do everything yourselves. As a society, we don't do everything ourselves. We're not the experts on everything, which is why we partner with other people who are. So that's another thing, that I would say to particularly, well, to all homeopaths, but for those who are thinking of about to graduate as well, is join a society and join a group, because it will help you so much. None of us have got the answer to everything.
It's a
But
community
together,
spirit.
stronger together, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a community spirit. That takes us back to the Traveling Homeopaths Collective as well. It's a community spirit, working together.
Brilliant.
We can't, why do we do it alone if we can do it together?
Well, I think the other thing about what Marcus does is, first of all, I'm in awe of him because he goes to Glastonbury.
Same.
How many years have you been going to Glastonbury now, Marcus?
Well, for every year it's been on since 1990, so it's our 35th year of running the charity.
Wow.
Wow, amazing.
So
When is it? When is it on this year?
The last week of June.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see how things work out. You never know. Surprise visit.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I think that what I admire with Marcus is that he goes, whether it's neat, thigh deep in mud, or it's baking hot, and it's just fantastic work, because people come and see you, don't they? Where they have where they have all the ordinary sort of ailments that you get from drinking too much, not having enough sleep, and eating something dodgy. But I mean, these are people that have oftentimes have never sort of been to a homeopath. They don't know anything about homeopathy, and yet there they come into Marcus's tent, and they come out with a remedy, and a lifelong support of
Magic happens.
homeopathy.
And
That's
magic
right.
happens.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Magic does happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
magic
I
does
know.
happen.
I think it's incredible, Marcus, what you do and what you achieve. And absolutely, respect to you for the commitment that you have. And I can't wait to have you. Well, sorry, I have to change that. Sorry, we can't wait to have you. I've got to be so careful now, right? We can't wait to have you on the Homeopathy Health Show. I'm okay with that, right? You forgive me for that, okay? So yeah,
You can get a
it's
cake.
looking forward to that, and we can work on this as well. But hey, it's been absolutely brilliant. And for those listening in, please have a look at the society website. As a member of the society, I can say to you that it's worth joining. It'll just absolutely revolutionize your practice. And I think it's just brilliant. I mean, I don't know what word to use. It's just all round. It's just so accessible. And it's important to become a registered member, but also what's important is to keep up with all the events, because the society is doing so much, and you'll absolutely love it.
Yeah, and we do it with it. We do more things besides, book clubs, my practice events, and that we're UK time for lots of things, but other things in the evening. If you are overseas, you can tune in for that. But yeah, well, we've been going since 1978. So in a couple of years' time, we'll be celebrating our 50th birthday.
Wow.
And I think I'm already going to be saying to Marcus, come on then, what ideas have you got?
What ideas?
We should have society cupcakes.
I love a good cupcake.
Yeah. Key rings, pens.
Oh no, we want to do something more interesting than that.
Memorabilia.
Well, we've got 3 years to think about what's in the society goodie bag at the 2028 conference.
Maybe we could release a vinyl. Hey, what do you think, Marcus? A special Society of Homeopaths record, something. Yeah,
Oh.
you can sing the lyrics. I'll do a boogie in the back. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll have to think of something good. With whatever it'll be good. I mean, we for our first online conference after the big one after our just after the pandemic, we did a letterbox gift, and people could open it, and there was tea bags and some remedies, some rescue remedy and so on in there, and a biscuit, so people could open it up at the same time as we were online and just feel that
I like how you did that, the biscuit and a rescue remedy.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that. That's brilliant. that's actually quite good,
And then we did a couple of years ago one on again Marcus's great ideas on agro homeopathy. Well, it wasn't on agro, it was more like how does your garden grow, isn't it? It's a bit more than just that. And so we had seeds and as well as a biscuit. So yeah, that was really good.
Brilliant. Okay, so thank you so very much, and we really look forward to the society progressing and going just this exponential curve that I see, and I know that I mentioned this to you, Corinne, as well, that it's growing exponentially, and it's just it's such the right time, isn't it? It's perfect timing, isn't it? Everything seems to be coming so nicely together, right? It's just one of those moments, and I think we should enjoy these moments and be part of of course, from myself and Nyla, you have our support, Homeopathy in Practice, of course. Marcus is brilliant, and so many other people will come on board. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and we're a growing organisation. More and more members are choosing to join the society. So you're not just joining a register; you're joining as part of a movement, really. So
Fantastic.
we'd love to have you on board if you haven't already joined as a member.
Nyla, any last words?
I would like to ask a final question about the conference that's coming up. Any final thoughts from you, Marcus? Why do people need to sign up for this conference? What is the...
We've got 5 amazing speakers.
Amazing speakers.
And there's going to be a lot of interesting homeopathic content as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just about homeopathy, but there's a large chunk of homeopathy in this one. We've got Miriam Shivadika. She's an amazing, flamboyant lady who is a member of the other side, sadly, but me and her get on famously. About 9 years ago, we used to run a summer school with traveling homeopaths, and she came along to that with a few other people and did an amazing presentation, which I remembered, and I shared that with her, and she said, I just don't want to just talk about the menopause, but I will do. So she's going to be doing an hour and a half, but she'll put on a different slant on it all. She'll talk about some really good remedies. She'll talk about the menopause and not the menopause, and she'll be talking about grief and loss and the fledglings leaving the nest. So we're encompassing everything that hits a lady of a certain age.
Yeah.
At that, but it's a song.
Yeah.
It will be an overall picture of what is or is not associated with menopause. Like, what are we going to get from this label, or if it is labeled?
Yeah. I think just on what you all said earlier on about giving women a label, it can also be used to when a woman then goes back and says, look, I've still got these symptoms. Well, you've been labeled, so go away because you've got your label now. And so it's a way of perhaps dismissing some women as well, because they've got that. We've given you a label. That's all we can do. You've just got to go away now and deal with it. So labels, sometimes they can be useful. You can say, right, okay, I can do something about this, but other times they can really not be useful at all. So, and this is where I'm just so looking forward to this conference, to understand more about me as well. I think that's the other thing.
But why do modern women talk about menopause? And if we go back to, I know a couple of African women, they don't know anything about menopause and they don't experience any symptoms at all. So is it actually us, or is it actually the society that is making us?
How interesting.
Yeah.
That's a big question, and there's too many other elements there that could be added into why, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
The
Well,
dangers are of going down some of those avenues is you could be accused of becoming a conspiracy theorist when it's not a conspiracy, it's reality, you know.
It's the reality.
yeah.
It's not. It's not. I mean, I think, do you know what, honestly, Marcus and Corinne, I know you know this, Nyla obviously knows this already, but you know, those days when they used to say homeopathy, you know, and the skeptics, I'm not bothered. Those words mean nothing anymore. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Why don't you just go and study quantum entanglement first? Or actually just start with quantum physics, right? Or mechanics rather, and just go there first. And then tell me, you know, Nikola Tesla, so many decades ago, right, said one thing, right? If you want to understand how everything works, look at energy and frequency and vibration, right? So, hello, you know, 200 years later, 150 years later, whatever, and we're still asking the same question. It's like, oh, this doesn't work because it's energy. Okay, so how does your Wi-Fi work? Can you show me where the signal is? Because I can't see it. You know, hello. Yeah, so you know, there's so many different avenues to come to. It's just
Always.
about it, I don't know what it is. It's just you're always going to get one side and the other side. It's a bit of Star Wars, isn't it? You know, got Darth Vader on one and Luke Skywalker on the other. But we've got the green lightsabers, so hey, woohoo!
Well, I think that what's the case is more and more people are coming to homeopathy. So despite that, you know, what the skeptics say, people really, you know, do understand that it works, because if it didn't work, they wouldn't come and they wouldn't come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
science needs to
Brilliant.
catch up, just like gravitation existed all along. It's just was about time when someone actually thought about it, what gravitation is. Doesn't mean that it was not there. Just like homeopathy works all along, it's just about time when people will find out why it works. The
How
question be
advanced.
answered at some point.
Yeah. How amazing, right? But hey, thank you very much, Corinne Stewart, Chief
Thank
Executive
you.
of the Society of Homeopaths. Please join, please join. And Marcus Christo, the legendary living Marcus Christo. And look forward to seeing you, both myself and Nyla. And thank you so very much, right?
Thank you.
For
Thank
joining
you.
us on this live episode.
Thank you for having us.
Just loved talking and looking forward to the conference.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Um,